Expand North Star 2025, 2000 startups, 1100 in. Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Wednesday, 15th of October. Today is the last day of Expand North Star 2025, 2000 startups, 1100 investors, $1.1 trillion with of AUM under those 1100 investors. Not billion, not million, 1.1 trillion. A lot of startups are here and they are happy. We talked to a lot of them. We put them up on our stories. We found really interesting startups. The last day is here. We'll find more interesting startups for you, just to give you an idea of what's happening here. But today I don't have my partner in crime, the usual partner in crime, with me. So I thought, why not tell you what interviews we did, who we talked to, and take out the most interesting parts for you from those interviews. The first up, the person that we talked to was the UN envoy for tech, and his name is Amandeep Singh Gill, and this is what he said. This is what he told the Smashi Business Show.
I see this as a very dynamic region when it comes to technology. The entrepreneurial energy is very strong, and it's also well directed, which means leaders are taking the time to understand tech and its impact. They're putting in place policy frameworks and investments that make it easier for tech to grow, for innovation to spread and impact societies, not only in the region but beyond. We are, in a sense, through the Global Digital Compact, taking up this important challenge of building safe, trustworthy, open and sustainable digital futures. So that's a key goal of the Global Digital Compact that was adopted last year. And within that, there is a new effort on data governance taken forward through not only governments but also civil society, independent experts and the private sector. And obviously, when it comes to privacy, and today privacy has to be first and foremost delivered digitally. So data protection, data privacy, those are key themes at the United Nations. And I think this platform creates an opportunity for these startups to also learn from each other. So it's not only a place to show and tell their own story, but also to learn from the stories of others. And also good to see that there is an element of responsible governance, of trust in innovation, moving fast and building things and not necessarily breaking things.
Next up, we talked to Cerberus Systems. The interesting part is I randomly found him at the media center, and it was a very interesting conversation that I had with him because he had a chip on his side and I saw it, and one of the people, I asked him, like, what is this? And he said, this is the NVIDIA killer. And then I talked to him. But the most interesting part about that conversation was how AI, everyone thinks, is a bubble. To be honest, like Dubai property, everyone says Dubai property is a bubble. It is not, and that is what was the question to Cerberus System CEO Andrew Feldman. The funny thing is, as soon as we did the interview, after that he was at GITEX. He gave 2 talks. He was part of 2 panels. He was interviewed by Reuters. He was interviewed by BBC. He was interviewed by Bloomberg. All of them caught him, and then I realized that it's a very important interview that we did, first of all, at Smashi Business. Not to boast about it, but it's interesting to see that so many big names who we don't even know. When it comes to AI, we always talk about Sam Altman, who was there at GITEX yesterday. I'll tell you about that conversation as well, which happened with Peng Zhao, and there was a host. Very interesting conversation. But let's go and see what Cerberus Systems CEO Andrew Feldman has to say over the $1 billion that he raised just 1 week ago. And his company is now valued at $8.1 billion. This is his take on the AI bubble.
I think we're still very early in the AI revolution. I think that the reason valuations are so high is because the impact is so large. I think usually when you think of a bubble, you think of a gap between revenue and valuation. And yet revenue is going through the roof. Earnings are going through the roof. And so in that context, it's not a bubble.
he says AI is no bubble because the evaluations and the revenue show that it's not. But then let's move on to the next interview that we did. It was one of interviews which is very close to our hearts at Smashi Business. It was the Palestine Pavilion that is here. They have 10 startups in the Palestine Pavilion, and due to lack of space, they had to move the other 7 startups to the Morocco Pavilion. But in total, there is 17 startups from Palestine here. And how did they come here? That's a very interesting story, which was told to us by the CEO Ratib, and he runs the company Intersect. Intersect is basically a joint coalition between the Bank of Palestine and the Dubai Chambers of Commerce, which are exhibiting here also. They both combined to create this company Intersect. The idea was presented by Ratib. Fatih Gandoor, the chairman of Vamda Capital, Vamda.com, and the founder of Aramix. Now it's sold to ADQ, but the founder of Aramix, he was one of the initial investors in this company, Intersect. And this is what he told us, this is what he revealed, that there is a partnership now signed between Syrian government and the Syrian startup and Palestinian startups. Both of them are now going to work together, and all of this was facilitated by Dubai as the government and the Dubai Chamber of Commerce.
Interesting moments for Intersect Innovation Hubs in Expand North Star is signing an MOU with the Syrian Accelerators Hub. Why is this important? Because this opens a great channel and platform for Palestinian startups to scale businesses in Syria, and at the same time knowledge transfer between Syrian startups and founders with Palestinian founders through Dubai. Like, Expand North Star is where the real business happens for startups, founders and entrepreneurs.
Next up, we talked to Microsoft at GITEX. These all interviews that you heard right now were from Expand North Star, where we are based. We have a booth here. If you're listening to this, and if you did come visit us, it's fine. It's okay. You can give us your feedback in comments and in inboxes. We love feedback. We got a lot of feedback here. But when it comes to Microsoft, they're exhibiting at GITEX Global, which is in Dubai World Trade Center. It goes on till Friday. Today is the last day of Expand North Star, but GITEX continues till Friday. So you still have 2-3 days to catch on if you want to go and see not the pavilions, but the districts of some of the biggest companies in tech, AI, and all the spaces which are related to tech and AI. So we found the go-to-market head of Microsoft, and here is what he told us about what Microsoft is doing in the UAE especially.
Hi everyone, good morning. This is Wasim Hashim. I lead the go-to-market strategy and execution for Microsoft in Middle East and Africa. Today we are in GITEX. We are pretty excited and very energized for a long week. This year in Microsoft, it has been a very long year with AI, and we've learned a lot of it that we're going to share, and excited to talk to customers about it here in GITEX. Some of the things we learned, first of all, is that cloud is an enabler for AI. And so migration to cloud and secure cloud is one of our priorities to keep driving customers into AI. Second of all, Microsoft have realized and have always been a partner to the UAE, as UAE is one of the leaders globally in the AI industry and not just a follower. And Microsoft have always been a partner for the UAE in that journey. For example, one of the things that we emphasized this year and will continue to do is skilling and upskilling 100,000 government employees to make them ready for AI at the workplace, as well as an initiative to skill 1 million residents in the AI skills.
And lastly, Parth, our colleague at Augustus Media, where we work at Smashi Business, he was at GITEX and he got to see firsthand the whole 5 gigawatt data center plan, the whole idea of how it will be built, where the energy part will be, where the energy will be created, where the electricity will be created, where the power will be created. He saw the whole model, which was first revealed when Mr. Trump came here and the deal was signed to create a 5 gigawatt data center in Abu Dhabi. It will be the biggest outside of UAE. It's called the Stargate UAE. It's part of the largest Stargate project, which is a $500 billion project signed between OpenAI, Sam Altman, SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son, Oracle CEO Larry Ellison, and then Mr. Trump announced it, and all four were there. So this is a humongous $500 billion project, and one part of it is being built in Abu Dhabi, 5 gigawatts. This is what the head of Khazna Data Centers told us about it.
Everybody, this is Khazna Data Centers. We are the largest data center company in the region. We are part of G42 group. As you can see, the mock-up in front of us is the UAE Stargate, which was presented to the President of the United States during his state visit to the UAE, where we are building 5 gigawatt AI factory complex, inclusive of the power generation and office and innovation centers, and also future silicon fab facilities. This project is already in motion, and first initial phase of it will be commissioned by Q3 next year and will be operational, and onwards we will continue to finish the project before 2030.
So this was a summary of the 4 days we spent, actually 3.5 days if you're listening to it now, at Expand Nosar, and the first 3 days of GITEX. We're covering it more, GITEX, we're covering more of GITEX. Our colleague Parth is there, he's doing stories, he's doing interviews. We'll get you a lot of more information about GITEX from there. But just to keep the tradition of the show alive, since I don't have words, I'll just quickly go through the biggest headlines that we saw yesterday. One of them is at Dubai Mall, the biggest mall in the world, is now opening a Dubai Mall Exhibition Center. Comes as a surprise at a time when we already see that the Dubai World Trade Center is moving all of its event from the center of the city just because there's so much congestion and traffic. RTA handles it perfectly, efficiently, in the best way possible. But there's still DWTC, the Dubai World Trade Center. They bought the Dubai Exhibition Center from the Dubai government in Dubai Expo City. And now they're moving all of their events. Next year, GITEX North Star, all of this will happen in Expo City in the Dubai Exhibition Center. So when everyone is moving towards a common normal area away from the city, so the traffic doesn't disturb us, Mr. Al-Abbar, the founder of EMAR, the makers of Dubai Mall, he's decided that he'll open Dubai Mall Exhibition Center, a 10,000 square kilometer property with nearly 6,000 people. They can host it at a time. There's 5 halls where you can do your events in the center of Dubai, in downtown Dubai. So I don't know the feasibility of it, the operational feasibility of it. They're going to start taking a lot of interest if you want to do an event there in their exhibition center. January 15, 2026, next year, first half of the first month, they're going to start taking bookings. So you can book exhibition space. It's going to be posh, it's going to be ultra luxury at the Dubai Mall, which is right next to the Dubai Mall. So it's a very interesting concept that they've come up with. How, when, what, the prices, everything will be revealed soon. But Mr. Al-Abbar posted all the idea pictures of the Dubai Mall Exhibition Center on his Twitter, on his all social media channels, and we shared it. We've done the story. If you haven't seen it, go to our social media, go to our Instagram and see it. If you want to read about it, you can subscribe to our newsletter and see the details of it. But apart from that, there's another very interesting story that Saudi Arabia's cinema industry recorded 448 million Saudi riyals in revenue in just the first half of 2025. 2 of the movies, the names are very interesting. The first one is very funny name, Shabab al-Boom. Shabab al-Bomb, basically. The second part, they made 27.2 million Saudi riyals in revenue. That is one of the highest grossing film. These numbers were published by the Saudi Film Commission. And then the second one was Hobal. It's a very interesting movie. I will watch it with subtitles, obviously. But it made 24.5 million riyals, Saudi riyals, in revenue. And then there's other movies which have made 15 million riyals, 10 million riyals. So the whole box office earning in the first half was 448 million. This is the highest ever recorded. And some of the numbers which were very interesting, and they are in our social media post on Instagram if you want to see it, are that 49 Saudi riyals is the average price of a ticket. And at that price range, with nearly 9 million tickets sold, 20 cities, and the cinemas are like 600 plus, these all numbers come from that, and it's expanding. They're opening more cinemas, they're going for more local Saudi productions. We've seen that Saudi is also rebating the money to the people who come from foreign countries and shoot in Saudi Arabia. They get 20%, 30%, 50% rebates on their shooting. So it's a very nice idea that they're building all of this industry, the cinema industry, the entertainment industry. We always talk about how there's so much focus on sports and esports, but this industry is also making money for them and contributing to the GDP. And I think you know what I'm going to say next, to the Saudi Vision 2030. So these are the two top stories that we saw yesterday. Now I will want to conclude. I wanted to keep it till the last because it's the most interesting conversation that came out of GITEX yesterday. GITEX Day 2, Peng Zhao, the head of G42, which is the Abu Dhabi AI giant, which is behind all the AI companies that you see in the UAE. They are behind the Khazna data centers, the biggest data center makers in the region. They are behind Core 42, which is very chip and very software related company. They are behind Presight AI, which is listed on the Abu Dhabi Stock Exchange. We interviewed the chief growth manager of Presight also. He told us that their plan is to become the next big thing when it comes to data analytics. They're working with a lot of governments. He told us that Presight is already working with the government of Kazakhstan, not with a company, not with some ministry, but with the government of Kazakhstan, and they want to expand it to the other countries, obviously. So this is G42 for you, and its CEO Peng Zhao was in conversation with Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. Sam Altman joined remotely. The very interesting thing that came out of it was Sam Altman praising UAE, saying they're far light years ahead of all the governments that he's seen in the world. And mind you, he's a US citizen, he's American, and he didn't say that we are in front. He said UAE is in front when it comes to AI and innovation. Very high praise coming from, to be honest, the face of AI right now, Sam Altman. And then coming back to Peng Zhao, he is the most closest person to His Highness Sheikh Tanoon, who's the security head of the UAE, all of it. He's the deputy ruler of the UAE. He has so many titles. He's the chairman of ADQ, which is the third largest sovereign wealth fund in Abu Dhabi. He's the head of G42, which I just told you about, is one of the biggest AI giants. He's the head of MGX, which is a joint venture between Mubadala, which is the second largest sovereign wealth fund in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, and ADQ. So they both combine to make MGX, which is $100 billion funds. Over the next 2-3 years, they're investing $100 billion on AI ventures, on AI infrastructure, data centers, on AI. Even they've invested in ChatGPT. They're the only one in the world who have a stake in 4 largest generative AI companies, which is ChatGPT, OpenAI, which is Mistral, and their chatbot Lesha, which is when it comes to Perplexity. They've also invested this round, which Perplexity raised. They didn't add anything, but beforehand they've invested in XAI, which has a chatbot named Grok by Elon Musk. So they are the only company in the world which have a stake in all the big 4 chatbots and their companies. So this all is just to give you a context how important AI is to UAE and the royal family. Peng Zhao unveiled that 500 ChatGPT prompts were used by His Highness Sheikh Tanoon to design his home in Abu Dhabi, and he used all those prompts, and finally he got a final idea of how his house would be. I don't know the details of it. He didn't highlight the details of what the prompts were about. Were they about the architecture? Were they about the design? Were they about the lighting, the plumbing, whatever? But 500 ChatGPT prompts is now equal to a royal's house in Abu Dhabi or anywhere else. So that is the amount of AI usage that you see, and the seriousness of the Dubai rulers, Dubai royalty, UAE royals about AI. It's not just they're investing in it because it's becoming a cool thing to invest in, or it's a thing which we put money and you get a big return right now. It's just the willingness to be in front of everyone when it comes to AI, when it comes to technology. And I will conclude with Umar Sultan Al Ulama, the first ever AI minister in the world's quote, which he said on the opening day, Sunday of Expand North Star. He said, "We want at UAE the AI to be so easy that even if you use something, you don't feel that it's AI. You just use it and it makes your life easy. And that is what he and that is what UAE and that is what the UAE leadership thing is a success for them, that you go through something, you go through a process and you don't even feel that there is AI involved. And that is what they're trying to do. And he funnily said that I'm not interested in jumping dogs and walking robots. I'm interested in making people's life easier. That's the whole idea. So this is the show for today. We'll see you tomorrow again from the studios where we usually do the show from. So this is Abdul Majid Awan. I'm signing out. I'll see you tomorrow from the studio, our boring studio. I'm going to kind of miss this place. It's very buzzing. There's like thousands of people walking across, feedback. People are coming, giving us feedback about how we're doing things. If you're listening, you have any feedback, we are more than happy to incorporate it in the kind of stories that we do, in the kind of content we do, or how we package everything. Whatever feedback you have, good or bad, we're always open to it. So thank you very much for listening. This is the Smashi Business Show, a Smashi Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Thanks to our 2 million plus listeners across all our platforms. We have 22 11 cities. We have 13 verticals for Smashi Business. For Smashi itself, Smashi Business is just one vertical. We have Smashi Crypto, Smashi Sports, Smashi Style, Smashi Entertainment. You can just go and follow them for all the news about the MENA region, about the celebrities, about what's trending in the entertainment industry, what's happening in the world of sport, and what's happening in the world of crypto. We have all those verticals. We're trying to activate more. As soon as we do, you'll be the first ones to know. Thank you very much. Have a great day and see you on Thursday.